What's up, everyone? And today I'm bringing a deck profile on my Appliancers. Now, Appliancers, it's a very interesting deck profile, and it's a deck that I believe has a lot of potential. Although not with the Link monsters, but the regular monsters are actually pretty good. Now, before we get into the video, I just want to remind you to subscribe to the channel because less than 50% of the people watching this video are not subscribed. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. First off, I run 3 Appliancer Copy Bocal. You target one Appliancer monster you control, special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, this card's name becomes that card's name until the end phase. And as an additional effect, during your main phase, except the turn this card was sent to the graveyard, you can banish this card from your graveyard, target one Appliancer monster you control, special summon one monster with the same name from your hand or grave. So this is pretty good as a starter, or even using it with the other card. Like all the Appliancer monsters are pretty good, although it'd be nice to kind of get like maybe a 4th one because there's only 3 Appliancer monsters. I also run 3 Appliancer Socket Roll. Socket Roll, if you control an Appliancer monster, you can special summon this card from your hand, and if another Appliancer Socket Roll is special summoned to your field while you control this monster, you can special summon one Appliancer Socket Roll from your deck. So it's definitely pretty good. If you open with 2 of them, you can normal one, special the other, and then special the third from your deck. I also run the 3 Appliancer Breaker Buckle. Breaker Buckle is kind of like the hand trap for the Appliancers. During damage calculation, if an Appliancer monster you control if battles an opposed monster, quick effect, you can discard this card for that battle. Monsters you control cannot be destroyed, and also you take no battle damage. If an Appliancer monster you control will be destroyed by a card effect, you can banish this card from your field or graveyard instead. So it's very good at protecting your Appliancer monsters. Now I also run 3 Parallel X-Seeds. Parallel X-Seeds, if you link summon a monster, you can special summon this card from your hand to your zone that the link monster points to. And if this card is normal or special summoned, you can special summon one Parallel X-Seed monster from your deck. So essentially, you can if you summon a link, you can special summon one, then special summon the second, and they both become level 4, which is pretty cool. I also run 3 Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring for my hand trap, as well as Dark Magician and Red Eyes Black Dragon for the Dragoon play. You summon a lot of monsters, so why not play Dragoon? Moving on to the spells. I run 3 of the field spell, Appliancer Electrical World. When this card is activated, you can add an Appliancer card from your deck to your hand except the field spell. And once per turn, if you link summon an Appliancer Link monster, you can add one Appliancer monster from your grave to your hand. And as another effect, is you can remove one Appliancer monster you control or another you control to another of your main monster zones, so it helps with like moving zones around and stuff like that. I feel like with this deck, like if it came out during Link format, this deck would have been like a crazy busted like tier 1 deck just because of how it can like move around and block off the extra monster zone. So I guess against like let's say maybe Sky Strikers, this deck could actually be pretty good. I also run 3 Appliancer Reuse. Appliancer Reuse is a monster reborn. That's really it. Target an Appliancer monster in your graveyard, special summon it. I also run 3 Machine Duplication. Considering all of the Appliancers are machines and they are also all under 500 attack. Honestly, Soccer Roll's the strongest one and that one only has 100 attack. The other 2 have 0. So all 3 are machine dupe targets. I also run 3 Where Art Thou? If you control level 1 monster, you can add 1 level monster from your deck or hand. However, during the end phase of this turn, take 2,000 damage if you did not normal summon the added monster or a card with the same name after activating this card. Most oftentimes when you use it, you're probably going to take the 2,000, but hey, that's fine. You can get more off of it anyways. I also run 2 Jack in the Hand. This is one that I'd honestly want to bump up to 3 potentially. I'm not quite too sure on that. Jack in the Hand, you can reveal 3 level 1 monsters with different names from your deck, and your opponent adds 1 to their hand. You add 1 to your hand, and you shuffle the 3rd into the deck. So like this one's kind of okay. It's good at getting a level 1 monster to the field, but since you only have 3, let's say you already used Machine Dupe, you're not even going to be able to activate it. I also run 2 World Legacy Succession, because that's a Monster Reborn, along with Monster Reborn. I also run the 1 for 1, because they're all level 1s. Call by the Grave, because it doesn't matter which deck you're using, you don't like hand traps. And a Red Eyes Fusion. Moving on to the traps. I run 3 Infinite Impermanents, and that's it for the traps. Just 3 Imperm. Moving on to the extra deck. I run 2 Appliancer Kappa Scale. Now, the Appliancer Link monsters aren't quite as impressive, mainly because they do have a downside that they cannot be used as link material the turn they are link summoned. Now, if they were, then this would be a pretty insane deck. Copper Scale, you contribute this co-link card, special summon Appliancer Link monster from your grave. And you contribute to summon this card that is not co-linked to special summon 1 level 4 or lower Appliancer monster from your grave. So whether linked or not, you can special summon a monster from grave. Also run 2 Appliancer Laundry Dragon. Laundry Dragon kind of reminds me of Eater of Millions. If this co-link battles an opponent's monster, you can banish that opponent's monster, and if it's not co-linked, you can destroy that opponent's monster. And if you do, inflict damage to your opponent equal to your original attack. I also run the 1 Dryer Drake. The one effect it has, it gains 1,000 attack, which, considering it has 0, doesn't really bring it up to much. And during your battle phase, if this card is co-linked, you can switch the location of 2 Appliancer monsters in your main monster zone, including this card. And if you do, the other monster you can make a second attack during each battle phase. And once per turn, if it's not co-linked, you can negate the attack of an opponent's monster. Also run the 1 Appliancer Celtopus. This is the link 2. If an Appliancer link monster you control is co-linked to this card, battles an opponent's monster, the battling monster gains attack equal to the number of monsters co-linked to this card times 1,000. So not too great. Like, honestly, even if you want to cut this down, it's fine. But I mean, the Havoc is a link 2, and mainly because of the arrows for the Appliancer link monsters. I also run the 1 Link Karibo, because you do run a bunch of level 1s. And if you run a bunch of level 1s, Link Karibo is always going to be good. The 1 IP Masquerena. This card is, I would have to say, a must. Mainly because the one sad thing about the Appliancer link monsters is that they cannot be link summoned the turn they are link summoned. But with that Masquerena, you can go into stuff like Appaloosa or Access Code during your opponent's turn by using it, because they can be link summoned at that time. I also run a Unicorn and a Phoenix as potential Masquerena targets. I run the 1 Predaplant Verte Anaconda, a Borlo Dragon, an Access Code, and an Appaloosa to round out the links. And I also run a 1 Red Eyes Dark Dragoon for my fusion. That's going to be all for this deck profile. Let me know, what do you think of Appliancer? Do you think it's a pretty cool deck? Do you think it has potential? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video I make. Bye.